And hello, folks. You are tuned in to another episode of Batman Radio. That's right. How's everybody doing out there? I hope you're doing well. All right, let's get this party started. So, here I have some notes today. So, I'm just going to go through those real quick if I can. All right. So, first of all, these people just don't seem to get the concept, man. It's not complicated, it's not difficult. I am on a totally different wavelength than all of you out there. Like I said, I have already attained quite a level of fame. I am more famous than all of you folks on here that watch me, every single one of you, right? It's not about fake subs or fake views like y'all have. It's about genuine subs and genuine views. And it's not even about that because the subs and the views really don't matter. And if anything, the subs really don't matter. It's just get the amount you need, right? Have your business, run your business. And then once you do that and proceed forward, nothing else matters at that point because you're just making money regardless off of the views. Again, they changed the standards and made it easier for you all because they know that you all are a little behind. So they got to give you a head start and help you to catch up, right, sisters? So they made it easier to attain the amount of subs. They literally made it half of what you had to have. Because I came up hard where you had to have over 1,000 subs. Okay. And I'm about to have 4,000. I'm like just a couple away. So I'm about to have 4,000 subs. Everything is genuine over here. It took me years of hard work, diligence. I put money into facilitating the environments to do this radio show. It took a lot. It took a lot of money. It took a lot of time and energy. It took a lot of sleepless nights. It took, you know, everything. It took going through everything. It took me getting targeted. It took me surviving things, going through pain and suffering you people couldn't imagine. So the one thing I'm gonna never do is be quiet. The next thing I'm gonna never do is let anyone act like they telling me anything. And number three, we talk in person. Okay. Anybody who wants to talk some way that's fake, talk in person. We don't owe nobody on YouTube nothing. I'm not here for YouTube. YouTube is one platform I promote on. Y'all need to get real with yourself. Okay, you don't know who you're talking to, and that's clear as day. So, number one, I'm on a different timeline, a whole different timeline. Okay, so you got these fools. They worried about nonsense and talking about delusion and delusionville that's not even happening or going on. A bunch of things that don't exist, right? They're all just within their own delusional mind because, well, they're all maniacal and insane, right? And they're not talking about the actual current relevant events like the fact that today I again got thousands of views and that will translate to a couple of bucks probably. And that's okay. If I make a couple of bucks each day, I'm doing well, I'm doing my job, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Your job is to donate in the meanwhile and show some financial support, and you all ain't doing that, and that don't make sense. So I'm going to go as far as to say that I have no real fans because all of you are fair weather, all of you are cheap and broke, outside of the few people who either donated or literally pulled up in front of me and handed me cash. Outside of that, if you ain't contributing financially to this, knowing that it takes a lot of financial resources to be Batman, I put $1,300 into a bat cycle. Like, what? Nothing happened to it. I explained everything. You all just want to keep talking in la land and proceeding forward and can't get over the past, but you've rewritten it all. It doesn't work that way. We're going to slow down. We're going to talk about facts. I put 1,300 into a bat cycle. I had repeated things that happened to it. That's Batman. I'm the real thing. I would drive that thing on the grass. Okay, like everywhere next to all the frontage roads and everything where people were like, what the hell, Batman's going on the grass. It was an actual bat pod basically. Okay, and no, I can get another one whenever I have the money. Nobody can stop that. That's common sense. I'm going to get all my product in inventory whether you like it or not. So, right, and I'm calling corporate and they're going to fix that one. Common sense. So, and people are probably going to lose their job and then go to prison. Every statement of which I'm making is backed by factual evidence. That other fool, I'm not even talking to you no more, bro. You need to mind your business because what you're doing is literally you're going around the internet being super corny, talking about you're bragging about the fact that you're an actual known snitch now on here. And you're just trying to tell on everybody for every little thing, bro. You just super petty, bro. You silly, man. Like You a narcissist, and I got you figured out completely. Like you nobody, bro. I ain't even worried about nothing you talking about. You don't even have a voice. So homeboy went and told on himself today, and then he goes and talks to the other career criminal, Janet the Gremlin. And yes, I'm saying what I'm saying. Okay, what are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Janet is a career criminal. The Gremlin is a career criminal. Yeah, it's not saying anything that's not factually based. You can go check history, bro. I've been on this YouTube thing for a long time. She's a member of the Red Triangles. She's a gang stalker of mine. That evidence is all over the internet. So therefore, guess what? She has to come to court. Yep, she's facing charges. She could be looking at potential prison time. Common sense. Because you're in collusion across state lines and conspiracy, and then what's going to happen, buddy, common sense, if you actually understand how the actual law works, because I know this like the back of my hand, and how this game works, they're going to do a mental eval on each individual because their actions are so insane, it's unbelievable. Number one, right? So they're going to see that most of these people are out their mind, right? Common sense, right? So on top of that, when you see someone and they keep bragging about little bits of money and then they tell their stories and snitch on themselves and self snitch, how would it be anything other than a fact to say that's a career criminal? I rest my case. You're not making any sense. See, the fact is, you're a noob to this, you're new to this network, and you should have been quiet and listened, is what you should have done. But instead, you want to run your mouth because that's what ignorant people do who are devoid of knowledge and don't know what they're talking about. They talk instead of thinking before they speak. See the point? So you're the one who's running around the internet, and I can't be affiliated with you at all. I'm not affiliated with you because you're the one who's running around the internet, being a soldier boy, run and tell them around everybody, and nobody is going to like you. That's number one. You're just making enemies out of everybody. That's number one. You're on some sort of snitching tirade. Okay. And you can go ahead and be the best snitch you can be. Be all that you can be. But I'm the one who wants nothing to do with you. You understand? Because your actions are lunacy, they're disgusting, and they're awkward and weird. Okay? I'm not doing what you're doing. You don't have any right to speak on my federal lawsuit, is how it works. I will talk about every member of the Red Triangles, okay? No matter where they go, and whether that concerns you or anyone, okay? Ain't nobody above reproach. I'll talk about anyone. What are you talking about? You don't control how I talk, homeboy. Who the hell is you? Like, who is you? What? Who is you talking to? Like, miss me, bro. These people really, these be broke fools trying to talk to the self-made trillionaire like they don't forgot all this money I made and spent. See, that's why people funny to me. They want to forget all the past history that I've had and who I am. Yeah, it don't work like that, homeboy. Everything I did is an accolade, a stripe, and a badge of honor. Didn't none of it just go away, bro. Like what, bro? I had bank accounts with over $300,000 in them, bro. I've made millions every year consecutively. I build businesses in my sleep, like you saw me do with this. What are you talking about? Before this, like I said, I ran my own food truck. They owned it. I ran it. What are you talking about? Did amazing with it. Everybody loved my food. Had lines backed up to Timbuktu all night till 4 or 5 in the morning. So you talking to somebody who's really out here in these streets, who's not only a gangster but a businessman and extremely reputable, and I'm a professional. So that's the thing. It doesn't go your way. You don't just, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go run and snitch. Go run and snitch all you want. Go whine, complain. Nobody cares, bro. You have no power. You're powerless. Now you can go ahead and sit down. You're in timeout. You understand? You're not talking about nothing. You're running your mouth. Okay, that's the issue. Okay, yeah. Who's that delusional? They're going to tell a career criminal. We all know that that person is a career criminal, the Gremlin, and they're going to tell a career criminal. Mm-hmm. This is all facts. What are you talking about? I have tons of evidence. And you're going to tell a career criminal that they should go run to snitch and run to courtrooms because one guy's saying some whatever crazy stuff online. And like he said, that's a lie. I mean, right, because I mean, he's pretty much right. That pretty much is a lie because nobody's going to do that. And career criminals don't walk into courtrooms and all that because, well, they know they're a career criminal. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that they don't do it. I'm sure they do stuff like that because they try to do it to cover up. That's what a lot of people do. Most of the criminals try to play victim, right? Or be really affiliated with that system, with the injustice legal system. And now what is he doing? All he's talking about is court. I think he's a snitch. He might be a federal informant. He might be who he is. See, no, I'm not friend to none of you. Like I told you, I am a master of infiltration. I am Batman, the world's greatest detective, and what I do is really the real thing. That's what y'all don't get. And they still don't understand. You're talking and dealing with Batman. I don't care about a courtroom. I'm Batman, bro. It's all self-explanatory, bro. I ain't got to talk. You feel me? So at the end of the day, no, I got the best of you, like I always do, and I didn't have any agenda. I was being genuine. But when you want to run around, come like I've already explained how I feel about coming over to my show and spouting nonsense and then trying to waste hours of time, bro. As soon as you were quiet, as soon as I said that's great, bro, I'm gonna start a new show. I don't know what you're talking about. None of it makes coherent sense. Please scram and go on about your business. As soon as I got away from that clown, I started making money today. I did the live stream. I got paid for that something. Like it's all going to accumulate right now. And then I got great views on my short videos today. I didn't do a whole lot of them, but the ones that I did really well on. Okay. The red triangles are throwing money away right now. That's what's happening. So again, you have to understand the red triangles are falling apart. They're taking losses. They're dropping like flies. Okay. All of what I'm doing as far as Batman is about what's consisting of the red triangles and the rest of these illegal companies enterprises. I shut down illegal operations in my past, right, a million times. And I'm not nice about it. So I shut down Empower Network. You need to go look that up and do your research on who you're talking to. You don't ever tell me anything about facts when I'm the man who created the slogan about everything has to be factual and you haven't corrected me. You need to watch your mouth and you need to say something that makes sense. You see the point? See, this is the thing. People run their mouth in this society. You all run your mouth. You all want to get in these fake positions and slots and run your mouth. Please run your mouth. Please bring it because everything you say, I'm going to expose you publicly and I'm going to shut it down. I don't play games over here. I'm not a YouTuber. Okay. This is what I do for a living. So again, this is what's called getting sunned and getting G checked. Okay. People who run around the internet being Soldier Boy running tellums, people aren't going to like that. Common sense. That's not a good look. So I don't know what that individual thinks they're proving other than just being petty and being super lame and whack. And it's crazy because I thought what you did might have actually mattered and been cool, but you just basically took all of that away and ruined it because you run your mouth too much. Like now it's just like now you look whack and they actually as weird as they are and they're all like all criminals, right? As weird as they are, you're making them look like they actually have a valid reason to be upset with you. I can understand why these people don't like him on this network. I truly can. Because who likes someone that's that petty that every 5 seconds they talk about, I don't go around and snitch because I don't like how this went for me. He's just a whiny, he's just crying all the time. He just wants to whine. Like, what? So reality check, bro. You ain't nobody, bro. You ain't talking about no money. I mean, I've never taken financial losses like what you're talking about ever. I'm a hustler. I don't even take losses. All I do is come up. I didn't take a loss. That's why they was trying to twist my words when I said they shut down my account after I spent the money. I was forced to spend the money at that time because of everything that happened because I stood up to all the corruption. I have nothing to explain. I've done like 8 million shows. This channel alone has tons of shows. Go watch them. Quit running your mouth and go research my story. If you don't know who I am, why are you talking to me, much less about facts, if you don't have your facts straight? How are you going to involve yourself? That's what I'm asking. Because I'm going to tell you the truth, brother. You're not special. You don't get special treatment. You're not exempt from anything over here. And what you're really doing is just joining the federal lawsuit. Let's get real. Because I have a federal lawsuit I'm building, and I told y'all don't tamper with this. Stay out of my way and stay out of what I'm doing. I mean that. So when you start involving yourself, be my guest. I really have no issue with it because it's all going to come out in court. So your name is going to arise in court, and that's why you're saying, well, the last thing you want is what you're doing, which is telling on yourself and exposing yourself, which you already did. The last thing you want is me to start talking and me to bring your name up to a lawyer, right? Because your name's going to pop up in this now because you keep integrating yourself into it when you could just go on about your business. But you can't because you don't have a channel. Let's say the truth. You as well have to go bother others and put yourself in circles that you really aren't liked in. They really aren't your friends. You don't have any friends, clearly none. And you're trying to integrate yourself in a community that's like a bunch of wannabe whatevers, and they're all nobodies. That's the truth. All that stuff is trolls. That's a troll channel. All this troll stuff, it's cute for YouTube. It sounds cute, but it just ain't real, brother. That's the thing. I don't care what trolls on the internet say. Like, like y'all are funny, bro. So the red triangles are falling apart. They continue to take losses, right? Something I really want to talk about again. I want to go in real quick on with like Crip Mac and just explaining to you all this. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna do it because I was just taking random notes on what they were talking about with the Crips, and it's so crazy how they call that dude Groovy Jimmy. And what was the name of one of the gangs, one of the sets? Hoover Groovers. So that must be where they're getting it from. See, so heard them say Crip and mention Crip. Let me explain something to all of you. None of you are real Crips. Let me just go ahead and get that cat out the bag real quick. Me out. None of you are real Crips. None of you are real gang members. All of you are a joke. And I'm telling you, you understand? We don't take none of you seriously. You're not scary. You're a joke. Okay? So now that we got that out the way, right? Let's get back to reality, right? No, you're false claiming, right? And y'all ain't even set tripping or nothing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what work you ever put in, homie? Like, little homies that like 3 feet tall? You a joke, bro. Like I said, they tried to create a troll boxing match, and all them fools is mentioning the names of the exact people who have gang stalked me for the past 20 years. I'm sorry, but what? But you want to tell me that I don't have facts or what I should talk about, but you're associating and affiliating with people who gang stalk me. That means they haven't let a day go by without issuing an illegal statement towards me. They've committed illegal use of a telecommunication device at least, I don't know, 4 million times probably. The the litany and amount of evidence that I have is so overwhelmingly sufficient, and I don't even have to gather it. I could just sit back and watch them produce it online because they do it on autopilot because they think they're proving a point because they're really just lost and they have like a setting basically and they're triggered and pressed. They're that bothered by me. You understand? They just cannot handle my presence, my existence. So again, I've proven every fact of which I've stated on this network. Everything. I don't have to prove anything to you. You're not nobody. You're a failure. Let's get that right. Okay. And I think that you're still renting, and that's pathetic at your age. So let's continue here. Like, bro, talking to somebody that's paid over 8,500 in land taxes and ran estates for years and sold 50-acre properties, and you're gonna try to talk to me about facts, boy? What? They don't get like. Do you know how to hear? My father was a UT graduate injury lawyer. He raised me. I'm arguably like more with it. Like, are you serious? I can be a lawyer, bro. Trust me. That's one thing I can be, and I would be the best. What? See, that's what they don't get. My persona, my personality, my energy screams lawyer, screams attorney. I can be the best in the law game because anyone who comes against me, you put someone on the podium, I can expose them within 2 seconds. What do you think all this is practice for? You're not getting it. I'm going to build several careers that I want in my sleep while I have all the money and I'm rich and I don't need them and I'm being Batman on top of that. Can you imagine a lawyer when if your attorney is really Batman? Can you imagine that? You have an attorney, you hire an attorney, and it's Tyrese Need in this case, right? Let's say, because after I go to law school and pass the bar and all that nonsense that y'all make such a big deal about, when you don't think about these things and talk about them, you just get it done. There's no limit, I don't think, on how many times you can take the bar. You gonna pass. If you got money, you gonna pass because you could just keep taking it. That's what I think. I mean, I don't see why they would place a limit on it. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard. And I've also heard that you don't have to pass the bar to become an attorney. It's all hogwash. Y'all are so on this systematic stuff, but like, what has the system done for you? Talking about, I'm taking huge losses in the stock market. Well, then why are you talking to me like you can tell me anything? Like, see, that's the point. Like, see, this is the thing. People don't even understand how to build friendships and be cool with people. If you was trying to be cool with someone, you don't tell them some nonsense and involve yourself in what they're doing and then act like they are. Dude, these are people on YouTube. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Like what? Like that's the craziest thing I ever heard. Like acting like it's gonna implicate someone like this is some kind of huge federal trial. Bro, you're talking about like the smallest violin in the world. What you got going on over there, bro? You ain't even gonna get no money out of there out of that because then people ain't got no money to pay you. Like what? He's like, I'm pushing for jail time with somebody on here who's a joke and nobody cares about. Like they're just going to sit in there and eat jail food if that's the case, and then they're going to get out and that's it and go on about their miserable whatever with nothing going on for themselves. I mean, they're miserable either way. It's not like you're proving a point. They're not going to pay you any money. Yeah, he's desperate. He's trying to look for like a grand or a couple of racks off of whining on YouTube. That's what you did. That's what you got going on. You're telling me you got binders typed up of nonsense for things that are small matters. Your matter is a small matter. That's a very small, that's a little like civil case. That ain't nothing. Are you serious, Bodie? Boy, you got to get out of here. You got to get out my face. You funny. That's delusion, bro. So check this out real quick. Right? Like I said, you got the neighborhood Crips, you got the 51 Trouble Gangsta Crips. The dude who taught me 52 blocks, well, I have two versions basically that I teach and learned and taught myself, but Big Trouble was his name. 51 Trouble Gangsta Crips. Big Trouble was from Chicago. I'm guessing that Big Trouble, our homeboy, might have been a Crip and he might have been one of the biggest ones and we don't even know. And I was right in the shelter in the bridge in Dallas with him and he trained me and he taught me 52 blocks. He worked with me with pads, the mitts, and everything. Right in front of all of them, right there in the Dallas shelter. The whole shelter found out that I was a boxer. That's a pretty big deal. I have a name on the streets in Dallas. The other white boy they kept dealing with and would not let him even walk around comfortably. I remember I felt bad for him. He was shorter than me. I guess they just didn't like him. He'd run his mouth or whatever. I have a different energy about me. They normally don't give me issues like that. And when they do, I stand up to them and they get scared. You know, I mean, this dude, we were trying to get on the bus. They came and whatever, did whatever right in front of me. I'm like, golly, bro, that's crazy, homie. Like y'all don't understand how active Dallas was, bro. Like Dallas, they were getting it in. Like Dallas was active. Like it was promoted for everybody to be active. So I was living in them shelters right there with all those types of gang members and individuals. I come from this, Wody. So like all this stuff that you kicking and talking, like I said, I come from the opposite of that, bro. Like I said, I ain't never ran to nobody for my issues. I ain't never ran and said I'm gonna file a lawsuit. That's not what this is about, man. So I want to get off of that for a minute so I can remind you people that I don't even have to do any of that. Number one, I got all the power in the world, and number two, I got God. God is handling everybody. I'm not worried about no federal lawsuit. I just build this like a project. That's all. It's all fun and games for me. It's not really a big deal to me because I mean I already got my justice. My justice is coming regardless, man. Because God is real. So let's see here. So yeah, like I said, I think Big Trouble might have been an actual Crip from Chicago, meaning they're up there. Then you got Hoover Street, 51 Deuce Crips, Hoover Groovers. These are all different sets that popped up and arose from this. They had an internal conflict, which is my whole thing of why I talk about you like what you are, which is nothing, none of you, because that's all y'all ever did was have internal conflicts with each other. Okay. You have to understand it wasn't infiltrated by the devil. Gang culture was brought about by Satan himself because that's the devil's plan. That's what Illuminati is. It's a spiritual complexity because everything is in this universe. And Satan, the devil, right, was he created it so he could create division amongst all the people in the hood. Just like it was always designed to get the man out of the picture and they try to lock up all the dudes and the men because, well, that's the biggest you know what for them, right? For the system, for this evil system that, again, it's the facts. It is the government, and it's all evil. Just like all the governments work together, but y'all still can't figure out that there's no such thing as a government. There's a shadow government that runs the entire world to an extent. They don't really run anything, they run their mouth, but they're the ones doing all this evil that has to be stopped. Kim Jong Un and Donald Trump eat dinner together, brother. Sorry about what? Kim Jong Un issues legal statements to our country and my soil every single day. How come nobody checks him for it? And then if you say something back, like something actually back, like you say something crazy, oh, you'll get in trouble for it. You can't even talk to Kim Jong Un crazy. You can't stand up for yourself and your country. That's what this government wants people to believe. Nonsense. People do it every day, and they go to prison too. Some of them for a little bit or a while. hmm They try to silence folks who stand up for what's right. It's absolutely crazy, man. Like I said, I've been through it a million times. I'm gonna keep standing up for what's right, and I'm gonna do it the right way to where I can't be touched, man. I'm untouchable. I do what I want to do. That's why I make a living doing it. I make a living standing up against corruption. You know how much bravery that takes? You know how much bravery it takes to take on these illegal organizations, these underground, people who are doing meetings in red robes. That's who I'm coming up against. I defeated every witch's coven, male and female. I defeated and shut down Empower Network. I defeated all of Freemasonry. Do you know how much bravery it takes when they're issuing me illegal statements while they're committing illegal use of a telecommunication device every single day? Do you know how much bravery that takes? That means that their words don't even affect me, or they do, and I keep it moving and I still keep pressing forward. I don't care what you say, number one. And number two, all y'all ain't about nothing. I already know that the red triangles and these cowards online, they're ain't about nothing. They're never going to do anything. All they're going to do is hide and type like they've always done. It's just a bunch of nonsense. But to say that they're trolls, no, they're not. They're trying to bank on that, and it's not going to work in court because they're going to say, common sense, the judge is going to see the evidence and say, this has nothing to do with trolling. What they've done here is serious crimes. They're acts of domestic, you know what. So again, you need to mind your business. You need to keep that away from me and over there and stay out of my federal lawsuit and my business. Thank you very much. Okay. But yeah, I have no interest in speaking to them again. That's why I always said, Groovy Jimmy is a clown, bro. There's nothing real about that dude. Nothing. So it's like, no, I took you at your word. You said y'all were good people. Y'all ain't good people, bro. Y'all are part of the problem. That's why you over there. You feel me? And those people, like the AP dude, they have a right to be upset. They do. They have a right to be mad. And I bet anything that when they said that you said these lies about people, I bet it's the truth. So you just got people that run around the internet and make up lies. So the reason why he was upset and he showed it in a very cowardly manner today is because, like he said, the last thing I want, he said, the last thing you want is me to open my mouth. The last thing you want clearly is me to say the truth because clearly you're a liar, right? And clearly everything you're doing is malicious. I mean, you got to understand, people have already said things about you that you've been doing things like behind the scenes. So again, I don't ever say anything that's false. If that is true, right? Well, then you would be considered a part of the Red Triangles because that's what this is about, a group that does acts of domestic, you know what? They have nothing to do with nothing, nothing to do with YouTube, nothing to do with humanity, nothing to do with anything that we protect in this country and Americans stand for. So we're going to stand up against everyone and all of you. Understand that. It is crazy to me that people, like I said, it's one after the other are jumping out the box like they're winning a $8 million prize when all they're doing is indicting themselves, every one of them. All I'm saying is fools indict themselves. Like, you can talk all this, oh, I'm about legalities and all that. That's not going to help you if you get federally indicted on criminal charges because you're affiliated and a part of the Red Triangles. If that's the case, see how I notice how I say if? I never make false statements. If that's the case, good luck because that federal lawsuit is going to be a big deal, man. See, that's the thing. I'm already pre programmed to not make mistakes. So, how dare you? I really take offense to that. That's an insult to my intelligence, man. How dare you sit there and talk to me about facts, but you haven't brought any? Let me tell you a fact. If you banking on facts, brother, how come you don't have a business on here where you're monetized and you'll never be monetized? Hmm? I mean, let's get real. If I wanted to, I could flag every channel down on this network, hmm including that one. No one's above reproach. What you're saying is lies and nonsense. It's definitely spam and misleading, correct? Mhm. Is that what you do? Do you get upset because people follow the rules of the network and do what they're supposed to do? Like I said, that whole situation of people like that, when they that petty, I'd rather just walk away and not pay them any mind or attention. I'm not worried about what they do. The people like that will never be rich. They'll never build anything and they'll never succeed. It's just that simple because you have the wrong mentality. You're trying to drag others down. You're not trying to help people or build. Like I said, you've had all this time. You know, you're talking about, like I said, all these people are eating. They got money. They going out to eat and stuff. I mean, you don't have any heart or soul. It's that common sense. I mean, you see what I'm trying to do here. You see how much money it's taken out of me. I mean, I made 11 grand when I cooked, man. I had to put a ton of money into this business. For you people to just sit there and I'm talking to you, that's not a supportive environment. I'm gonna tell you what my people do. I'm gonna give people my own people credit. We don't sit here like this and act like this 9 times out of 10. Now, a lot of them are selfish, but the good ones, if they saw someone like me and they see what I'm doing, they're gonna be like, I'm going to donate. I'm gonna start consistently supporting this dude financially. I'm gonna keep asking for it until it happens. Hold on. Because until it happens, I mean, nothing is pointless. It all has a purpose, but it's just it makes it so much harder. Like I said, the dudes are going out to eat. The dude's going out to eat. You know, you're getting whatever you want. You're ordering Chinese. You're getting a sandwich. I mean, are you serious right now? And you see what I'm dealing with and going through, and you can't send one nothing, $50, $100, send a grand. You act like you caked up, like y'all got money. Like, see, that don't make no sense to me. I put in all the hard work. I did what you can't do, and people today, instead of showing some genuine support, like anyone would have done in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Now it's, oh, I'm mad at you because you're doing what I can't do, man. Y'all a joke, bro. I got to get away from y'all, bro. I'm never going on none of your panels again. I don't want nothing to do with you folks. I've tried. God knows I've tried. He really knows I've tried. He talks to me about it. I done tried with you people. I'm done. I ain't dealing with none of you. The only person I deal with is Christina. I want nothing to do with you folks online. I never have. I'm just trying to move around the environment of YouTube like everybody else. But clearly, you can't because people are weird. All right. He said that there's a neighborhood like right down the street or a couple of streets. Chris is talking about Crip Mac, that there's like a orange rag area. So like I said, like I think he's talking about LA though. So you got different sets in LA, I guess, on different streets. So imagine how Chicago is, because you know Chicago is extremely segregated. They're sectioned off basically. And that's the thing. You just in Chicago, it's all about where you're walking. And then boy, and look what they do to themselves. Them boys in Chicago, you can't even go into a gas station. You walk into a gas station, you really don't know what you have no idea what what could transpire, what may happen every day, just because you want to go buy a Rillo. I mean that's embarrassing. That's crazy, man. And then y'all wonder why you want to talk about I'm a rapper and this and that, and y'all doing it to each other and calling it this and that. It's just like how they come on internet. See, y'all got them habits ingrained into you because all y'all were what into the set, just like they did all the females. Y'all got these habits ingrained into you, man. It's the same thing the dude talked about. There's a dude that talked about this already. And he said the same thing I say. He said, I'm a force. And I understand that because I think he's operating out of love. He said there's an original intent document that every gang was founded upon. All of y'all online represent everything I'm not about and I'm against. So don't act like you're talking about me because y'all are all snitches. Every single one of you. It's a G code violation to talk to a snitch, just so you know. I follow G code no matter what. I'm not here to talk to you. What? See, this is what I'm saying. They really will. They want to act like they don't know who I am. You have an understanding of who I am. You want to play games online in front, like you don't know, but you know a little bit. We don't come from the same struggle. I came up out of all the real stuff that y'all ain't got the heart to do or go through. Let's get real. I stood up to all those people like that, people way worse than y'all, and actually won. Everything I did was real, was in the street. These people in a fear vibration, they want to promote a fear vibration, but then you wonder why you taking huge losses financially, why you're not succeeding, why you can't build a business on here. Say what you want, man. I don't make jack doing what I do right now. I make very little, but guess what? I work harder than anyone. And what I do affects so much and it helps so many people and it saves lives. And that's more important to me. That's the thing. So what needs to happen is God and people in the public need to say, I want to help this guy because what he's doing is helping me, right? He's protecting us. He's taking care of me. What I mean? He's taking all the risks. He's going out in the street. He's doing the real thing. He's standing up to all these illegal organizations and all corruption by himself, and he's taking them all on head on and winning. See the point? Like that's the thing. We could say it for what it is. Batman ain't never got to run to nobody or go to no courtroom. I'm Batman. No, Batman just wins. Batman can go on a mission and win. Good talk. Batman can go out in the street and handle things. What are you talking about? I don't run to none of that. That's some coward stuff. That's the problem. Cowards don't seem to get it matters. If you a coward, bro, you gonna always be a coward, bro. You know what I'm saying? Always, bro. Like you gotta deal with that. That must suck. That might be why you can't sit down with yourself very long and just chill. You gotta hop on a panel and tell people this and that and oh this is how you do this, like you act like you're informing people but you're misinforming them because what you're saying literally isn't true. I guarantee it. If you don't believe me, have that career criminal go do that and pretend, right? And then what's going to happen is what happens when people like that do that, they're going to look at her and they're going to start paying attention, and then it might trigger an investigation. You understand? Because no, I know for a fact what I see. I have eyes, dude. Don't tell me, oh, be careful. No, there's no be careful, bro. You be careful. That's what you do because you're living in fear. I don't be careful about nothing. I'll talk about and do whatever I want. We're about love here, brother. There's no fear over here. I've done stood up to everyone in their face and backed them down. I'm sorry, but what? Do you have any clue who I am and who you talking to? That's what I'm saying, bro. Like you can look at our eyes and tell we're not the same animal. That's why when you came over here, I made sure I put you in your place and told you what it is and told you reality because I could tell that you're delusional. That's why you did that little pointy laugh. Go have a tea party with your Barbie set, with your Barbie dolls. That's what you need to do. I'm laughing at you. Okay, you're not real. None of you. I told you. I told you, little homies in New York was fake. Y'all didn't believe me. I told you, New York is super fake, especially now. All them projects got cleaned up a long time ago. They don't have projects. They got dilapidated circumstances, like what Tone Space in. Boy, I've been talking about these folks for millions of years. I will talk about all of them and all of you all I want. I'll talk about any of you. What? Boy, you funny as hell. I'm a radio show host. This is my job and my career. Is you serious? That's what they want. See, they want to do this like it's Mario Kart. They want to have a turtle shell of protection because they scared. That's what that about. But then they so like such trolls and so hypocritical. Then they're going on panels and talking about how they tough and how they would do this and that. All that stuff's recorded. I have evidence on you right now. You went on a panel the other day. All them panels are public, bro. I watched those channels, or I was. So you went on that channel the other day and said, "Oh, I would do this." Right there, that's an illegal statement. What? I can present that to a lawyer literally, and they can literally press charges for that. Yes, they can. What are you talking about? They can say, "Oh, you said that on the panel right there." Like, you see what I'm saying? You're contradicting yourself, brother. See, if you was really about what you kicking, do you ever catch me online talking crazy or reckless? Ever. I'm extremely choosy and careful about my words, right? I don't have to be careful. I don't talk like that anyway. To talk reckless, that's not something to do online. I talk reckless in reality because I'm really about that. I'm about that life. You ain't. What? See, that's the thing. You about the soldier boy run and tell him be a rat life. Let's get real. What the hell is that? That's cool. That ain't cool. That's whack as hell, homie. All right. So, like I said, then you got the B's and the C's. They were talking about the wording of it, how the H, they'll X out of the names. So they got the tats, like Crit Mac has one, and they'll have different letters X'd out, which is a sign of disrespect, obviously. The ones who want to disrespect them will call them the snoovers. Like I said, I'm all about bringing unity, man. This is why I study this stuff because I hope that my channel and my message gets to a lot of these different people who are in it, and I hope it wakes them up, man. Generally, what I'm doing is to help them. I don't look at anyone as my enemy. I mean, they're not my enemy. You know, these little dudes in the hood, little homies, I'm here to help them. They don't scare me. They don't scare me one bit. I'm way worse than them. That's the thing. These people want to act like they don't know what's up. Okay. So when I went through that whole all them beefs I went through publicly, y'all don't remember that and who won and who lost? There's dudes sitting in prison right now. It ain't because of me. It's because of their own decisions. But we had so-called beef. Y'all started online, and all of them lost and got their karma. I went on to be successful. I've had the best financial run out of anybody. See, that's the thing. They want to act like I'm someone I'm not. How does that make sense? So now I'm chilling and I'm basically retired and I'm 35 retired, which is an accomplishment. It's amazing, right? And I live beautifully. I'm good. I'm Gucci, right? And they want to act like so basically, if you took any other guy, especially if it was on YouTube and he had made and spent the money I made, they would all be bowing down to him. Anyone, I don't care who it was. You took any of these individuals, they would be saying, "Man, you amazing, bro. Like, can you talk to me about money?" I think there's only been that one dude, that white dude on that panel the other day that brought up he knows everything about stocks. He knows what's up because he has done his research a little, obviously, and heard about me and knows the truth of who I really am. I'm a financial connoisseur, bro. You understand? Like I said, don't worry about me and what I'm doing right now. Worry about you. I had my run. I'm Batman. I'm supposed to be old, washed up Batman. We're supposed to be in the Dark Knight Rises time. I'm supposed to be getting old. I'm supposed to be the. So what do you mean? I'm supposed to be the eccentric billionaire. You understand? I'm not concerned about cash because I've actually lived real life and life is fast. When you're the real thing, everything moves quickly. There's no time for indecision. There's no time for this. I mean, we all make mistakes, brother, but my mistakes is how I learn. And, I don't feel like I've ever made a mistake that was really a mistake. Even my mistakes turn into success. I've had an amazing run. I'm just being honest. I mean, if I had made a bunch of mistakes in my life, I would be honest and tell you that. I've pretty much made none. I've done everything right. I've every decision I ever made, I stand on. I think that I did everything right and handled everything right, truly. And I think for someone to say that, I think that that takes a lot. People got to understand when you come to my channel, you're looking at someone who's not connected to any of these weird dudes on here. You're looking at someone who is independent and does everything independent and runs everything by themselves like a boss. Everybody's fully aware of what I do for a living, what I do for a career, and I'm sure how serious I take it and take this, right? It's all real. And that's why I don't worry about, you know, people with their opinions. I don't care. I'm Batman. Why would I care? Like, whatever you want to say is cool, but at the end of the day, I'm still Batman and you're a regular human being. At the end of the day, I got power over all y'all because I'm a lot stronger than you and I'm going to tell you what to do. That's the truth. I do what I want to do, bro. I'm really like them comic books, like them cartoons when they show him and he's just moving fast as hell and moving people around and doing what he wants to do. I'm really that. I'm out here, bro. I'm a legend. Like if you look at the way that cartoon was depicted, I got to find it again. It was amazing. It's insane, bro. And it really is the truth. Like he's sitting there telling them, and he'll get in the mix with individuals, and he's talking smack to them. He's like, you know, like if you don't want me to visit you again, like that. That's the thing. There's nothing pretty about what I do, brother. I'm not on what you want. I'm on some gangsta stuff. I'm not here to be nice. I'm not here to follow rules. I could care less about the law. I'm here to do what I'm doing. I'm here to set the standard. Sorry about what? So, you just got people who are lost and they don't know reality and don't know what they're talking about and don't understand all the stuff that's happened and all I've accomplished. I've accomplished more than anyone. I've accomplished more than every agency combined. Probably within what they've done in the last 20 to 50 years. I've probably done more than that in 2 years. I'm a regular civilian, just a regular dude. I'm exhibiting my genius. That's all I ever do. When I owned 14 cars, I turned around, I made a video, and I said, I only have these 14 cars to show y'all I'm the Messiah, and I do this in my sleep. I received unfair treatment. They gave me fake tickets. I paid most of them. I'm good here. It's in another county, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Christina's going to help me with all that, right? That's what she told me. She told me she's going to help me with everything. She told me that she was putting me in her will. She said that she's going to do everything for me, and I believe her. So again, this is where we're at. There's nothing wrong with where I'm at. Where I'm at is the best position you can be in. My life is amazing right now and always. It always has been. It always will be. What do you mean? I'm a lucky dude, man. It's just, it ain't luck. It's being blessed. So, like I said, people got to really catch up, man. You got to understand, like I said, people have made it their modus operandi to come on here and try to fake talk me. They're just want to do anything they think will, I don't know, I guess, bother me or get a reaction. I'm not here for that. I'm here to, and nothing bothers me. Nothing. I'm here to say the truth. So when they start making that repetitive, it's weird. Like I said, they're trying to project how they feel. So obviously they feel super stressed, right? By my success. So they actually use tactics and they'll start repeating themselves. But I don't have my facts straight and they're not going to prison. So someone who literally illegally communicates towards me, who I've asked to leave me alone 8 million times, that's not a crime? Yes, it is. What are you talking about? Repeating my own words back to me, using YouTube channels to communicate subliminally, issuing illegal statements to me nonstop. You know how many people are in the red triangles now? It's a lot. Sorry, brother, but my case is completely like all facts. Like it's a guaranteed win. Your nonsense is a waste of time. Clearly, you're just trying to get people in trouble, and honestly, you said it yourself and you're hypocritical because you said the system doesn't like manipulation of the system because you heard that somewhere, because I have too. And I've been teaching this stuff for years, but yet look at what you're doing, and it's about to probably be taken that way because of your mannerisms and the way you're speaking publicly. They can look at your channel, brother, and say, okay, so he's going over here, and then he keeps saying, oh, you can do this. So he's just trying to get people in trouble. They could look at that. Yes, they could. They could say, we feel like you're trying to manipulate the legal system while trying to preach a different rhetoric. You can't build a channel doing what you're doing. I'm just letting you know. I already know that your channel's not going to win. It's not going to make it. You're not going to succeed on here, and you don't have the work ethic that it takes anyway. It takes so much work to just make a couple of bucks a day. Y'all don't have it in you. That's why I don't understand why they're acting like it's such a big deal. You got Rob Wack over there streaming for 13 hours. Desperation, trying to get his watch hours up, but that's not technically how it works, because it has to be watch hours. There's a technicality to it, or there used to be. So the desperation for what? So you can get a monetized channel? You need that bad? Huh. But yet you had nothing positive to say about me, but yet I've got what you want. I did the impossible and you can't do it. And you have easier standards to do it and still can't get it done. You kind of dropping the ball there, Rob Wack. So, like I said, these sets are all over America. I already found out they're in New York, which I don't care about because most of them are fake. They're really all fake because, again, you don't follow the original intent. I look at all of you as fake. Who do you think we're going to be coming up against? Who do you think they keep complaining about in these neighborhoods? Who do you think they're tired of and sick of your activity? Who do you think they don't want in their neighborhoods? When Batman comes through hard body, it just is what it is. It's going to be just like the movie when it says, but that signal's not just a signal, it's a warning. You understand? It's going to be exactly the same when I get up to New York. It's going to be a warning to all these criminals and all these gang members and all these fools in the street that think they G tough. Batman's coming out to play now. I said it's like I'm like a monster that come out of a dungeon, bro. For real, bro. That's what you talking to. I don't know what you talking about. It looks are deceiving, brother. You keep thinking you talking to a regular human. Trust me on that. Please do that. I love that. I want people to think something sweet. You understand? Talking to an actual monster. I keep trying to tell you all this, and you fools don't want to listen. You funny, right? So, like I said, at the end of the day, you just have to understand. You think a man that's a bat, you think a bat cares about anything you're talking about? I don't care about that. Y'all woke up a primal force. I explained it already to you. There's no remorse, there's no mercy, there's no compassion, there's nothing. All this primal force within me cares about is justice, vengeance. You understand? setting the standard straight, reminding you that there's an animal kingdom that you have not given any kind of normal humane treatment, reminding you that you're not God, reminding you that God sees all, reminding you that all you human beings are wrong. I'm not worried about a court, bro. I know that all of these people, most people, are going to get what they deserve. That's common sense. What God has been watching you all forever. He's who created everything. He's pissed. You understand? Not at me. He loved me. I haven't done anything wrong. But you all, he's pissed. And he has every right to be. And I understand why. Because I see how y'all treat people. I see how y'all do animals. And it's sad, man. You know, I'm not worried. Like people like the penguin. You think I'm worried about the penguin? God saw what he did to Sonic. And God saw what he did to his own fake wife, Tia. And how do you think God feels about that? That's in God's hands. You understand? Yeah. You think God gonna let that slide? Not at all. God is on that. I ain't worried at all. And he knows. You could tell by looking at him that he knows it's like impending, you know what, like you can tell that he knows like I'm screwed. You know what I mean? Like he knows. You know, why do you think they running around, like I said, wasting money they already didn't have resource? Why? It's desperation. That's why they talking about these different people. You want to bring up Jack Doherty and all this nonsense. Anything to try to get views. And if you look at your channel, you have no views on every video. Desperation. They having to send them on dummy missions just so they can go out of town so they can try to pull a fast one they was hoping and have their fake delusional dream that maybe one day they'll still be a YouTuber. Just give it up. Give up, delete your channel, and move on and move ingots for the rest of your life. That's what you need to do because that's your only future. I'm not gonna lie to you, like 50 Cent told me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Get your 40 and get on the curb, dirtbag. Real talk. You gonna be working them little fast food jobs forever, or just sitting there broke playing what is that game? Slack or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah, you ain't going nowhere. You feel me? You ain't gonna never be successful, boy. You got that? You ain't gonna never be me. You understand? They want to act. Talking about a Batman. Look in my eyes, bro. Y'all is funny, son. Like, that's my thing with the internet, man. I can't do it with them folks because they all delusional. They will literally talk to you like all of reality hasn't happened. Like, y'all funny as hell. They got a whole fake reality going on there. It's like playing the game with Charlie, you know, he's Sunny in Philadelphia when he said, I don't care, I'm winning in the game. You know, is they're just like him. You care about this game too much that you call YouTube. This ain't a game. This is a platform just like the Facebook was created by CIA for them to document evidence, just like I'm using it for, right? That's going to be used against you in court. That's what it is. That's all it is. It's a place to have fun. Treat it as such. All that other stuff. See, they act like we're all attached. You come on YouTube, you worry about me. That's your own prerogative. I don't owe you nothing. I don't know you. We're not on a team. We're not on a baseball team. I'll say and do whatever the hell I want, boy. Feel me? I can feel it in my chest today too, man. Them dips. Oh, it had an effect. I knew it would. I could feel it, bro. But I'm good. But you know, like that's the thing. Like what I do isn't easy, bro. Most people would be facing different injuries and stuff from what I do. I just keep pushing. I'm a force. I'm the Batman. You understand? I just broke a world record today in my sleep. I told you I was going to do it. 100, it was 131. Sorry, I miscounted, so I fixed it. It was 131 dips in a minute and 8 seconds. That's way surpassed the world record because the world record was in a minute, it was 119. So you can count the video and you can count up to how many were done, how many dips were done and performed by me before a minute. And I guarantee you it's more than 119. I just broke the world record. I just set it at 108 because I mean 8 seconds is not very much longer, and look how many more I did. 131 as opposed to what was it? I think it was like 109 or 119, something like that. Might have been 119. So what's that? 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Like 12? I think I outdid the world record by 12, possibly, if it was 119 and not 109, something like that. So, I mean, that's a lot, bro. That's pretty impressive, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it, and you know, you got to measure that 8 seconds. All you got to do is go back and count how many I did, before a minute before a minute was up. I guarantee you it's more than 119. I just broke the world record. So I own the world record for dips. I'm the actual record holder in the world. I'm not asking nobody for validation. I don't care what y'all do. I don't care about Guinness, right? So I hold the world dip record for under a minute and under a minute oh 08. That's really two separate records technically. So I technically got two records there. And then I own the one. I'm the record setter holder for pull-ups, which is 200 pull-ups on camera on this channel, I believe. And then I did the mini inertia pull-ups. I think I did 365. That's also a world record in one set, which is amazing. And then I did 90-pound dumbbell curls, and that's still a world record because y'all use fake weights. And this is why those people, when I talk, they try to interrupt or say something weird and disparaging that doesn't exist because they know this guy's the real deal. So there's no qualms. And like I said, just like when I had over a quarter million in the bank, like 300,000, I was walking in Austin on 6th Street. Girls were trying to hit on me. I had a girlfriend at the time. I was loyal, right? I shouldn't have been because that individual just was a horrible person and who did half this stuff to me and literally like tried to take me out. And it's everything they tried to cover up. And it's half of what made me Batman, right? But my whole point is, I went through everything I went through as a man. Like I said, no, I did everything proudly. I went through everything proudly. I was a boss about everything. And I was up in Austin. I had all that money. They didn't offer me a TV show. I went up to the dude from Jack, you know what, with what is his name? I was joking around about I was going to do a video the other day. I'm Johnny Knoxville. Him, I didn't meet him. I met he might have been around, but I met the midget guy. What is his name? Not Mini Me. I can't remember his name, but I'll remember at some point. But I met that guy and I tried to buy him a drink and he was super rude. And he was rude to the point that I actually got pissed off and literally wanted to take it there. Like no joke. I was literally like yelling, calling him out, and there was cameras around. They ain't never released that footage public. That dude was rude as hell, bro. That dude's a chump. I can't stand that dude, bro. There was no need for him to act like that. Now, yeah, you could say he was drunk. I don't care. I buy you a drink, bro. Just have some basic respect, man, and talk to me like a human being, bro. He was a cocky, arrogant, nobody. Like, dude, you're not even rich. You're no one. Like, I'm in front of your face buying you a drink, and I got way more money in cash than you'll ever have. And I run everything out here. I remember I was walking around the same time. Those people were like, they had like a fake camera crew following this dude. Oh, he's a millionaire. So am I. What does that mean? You can't add up assets and money. At that time, I was literally more than that, a self-made trillionaire. I had everything. I still have everything in equity. So what? See, that's the thing. Like y'all want to play these word games and y'all want to one up people with fake stuff. That's why I've competed so hard because I was competing with illusions. That's not, it's not that I wasn't smart. I've gotten smarter and I woke up to the illusions. I competed with the illusions. Y'all would act like the Migos went and spent however many bands in Vegas. So I would outdo something that was a lie, and I found out it was all prop money and all fake, and everything they was kicking was fake, and they never put up video proof of anything because it's not real. And Mason money is not their money; it's just money they use for show to do a function or pay for the cost of the stuff around them to facilitate the environment to lie more. See, I've noticed what the system does. It wants people to sell their soul to the devil. That whole system is run by Satan. They're trying to make success look like it's easy, just like they got that one lane that does that commercial on here talking about, uh, oh, it's all garbage. You want to train blah 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 and make this amount of money. Stop training in person. Do digital training. He can't teach you nothing. He's a Mason. Has he broken these world records? See, my point is when I had all that money and millions of dollars, and I'm right in front of dudes claiming they're millionaires, but I got more money than you and I'm richer than you and I'm right in front of you and I'm humble. They never offered me no TV show. I didn't hire a camera crew to follow me around and be egotistical like them dudes do, especially them dudes from the fake culture and group. They would do that too. Got to hire a camera crew so you can pretend you someone, hoping that chicks will get impressed because there's a camera crew around you. That's all that is. That's some whack stuff. It's like T.I. said, he got to park his car to make sure every girl see. Y'all is whack. Y'all whack little homies. Every single one of you. You understand? How do you think they got them names like Whack 100? Because they know y'all whack. They making fun of you in your own names and you don't even realize it. All them homies that think they Crips and Bloods, y'all all a joke. All of you. And I'm saying it. I've been saying it. What you gonna do about it? Huh? Nothing. Cause ain't none of you about that life. None of you. You understand? And yeah, and it took a white boy to remind you what your culture is. I represent their culture more than them. Their culture got replaced by ignorance. That's why I do what I do. See my point? So, like I said, did they offer me a TV show? Did they give me anything? Did anyone be supportive? I had all that money, bro. All people had to do was show me an inkling of support. You know what? All my own people and all y'all did had your hands out. That's why people owe me thousands of dollars. You can't tell me nothing. Everybody owes me money. Ain't nobody paying because ain't nobody ever got money. You're all convenient. You're convenient narcissists. You're all whack. I've never had an inkling or ounce of support. I have my own people treat me completely unfairly and discriminately. Like, are you serious? And I'm not asking. I could care less, bro. I don't want nothing to do with none of you. I keep it moving and I go on about my business and I do what I need to do for me. I'm straight, like I said. Oh, I paid everything cash for me. I know what I'm doing. I built my own life. Yeah, see, no one tells me what to do. I do what I want to do, sucker. Right? So what you talking about? See, people is funny, man. People that you just this nonsense, man. This nonsense acting like people don't get it, right? So, like I said, you got gang alliance, you get alliances, you got local gang sets. They use the number five, which to me is that numerology that comes from the Kabbalah, which is what these Masons study as well. You got to pay attention to that and understand the relevance because numerology really is a real thing. You know, this is a mathematical universe. 52 blocks is mathematical. Where do you think it probably came from? You don't think that Masons would practice 52 blocks if they could? Yes. Come on, bro, you got to wake up, man. That's why I study the videos. I study some of the knowledge that the Masons had, but a lot of my knowledge is coming from divine source and God himself. But I studied Mason knowledge and I used it and took it. When a Mason ever taught me something, ask the one dude. He watches my channel. I know who you are, bro. I know you watch. And like I said, he taught me that trick for doing dumbbell curls, and I went and broke the world record after that. I mean, I gotta thank him. You know, he taught me it. He was a Mason. You know, I don't think he realized I was going to take it and utilize it to that capacity, right? But I did. You know what I mean? It was the same guy. He told me when I got 10 grand in front of his face and I said, I'm going to Florida. And he was like, man, I'm jealous because you going to Florida. You know, I understand, man, you know, but nothing I'm doing is trying to make anyone jealous. It wasn't at that time. I was just living my life. And I got 10 grand and I went to Florida on my own. I went and rented a place. I had issues over there with some old man. Um, Nothing happened, but it's just he was weird as hell, and I just wasn't going to put up with it. And then I think I went to another place. I moved on about my business. I went all through Cape Coral. I ended up spending the money. Then I panhandled my whole way through the whole state of Florida, right? And then I got back and came back after a whole journey. Like I go on adventures, bro. That's what people don't get. I'm not worried about money, man. I've spent and made so much money in my life, it's unreal. That's what I do. You get money, you spend it, and you survive, and you bounce back, and you learn. Now, why did I have to live like that and do that? Because I have things I'm learning. I'm out here in these streets for real. See, you don't get it. Every decision I made was 100% correct because that's the only way I'm going to learn the streets. That's the only way I'm going to learn how to survive is if I go out in real life in the real world and do the real thing. All these YouTubers, they want to run their mouth, but they have no life experience. See the point? I have it all, bro. I'm talking about my entire life has been a project of literally putting every fiber of my being into being in the street and understanding this environment. I study criminals now. I study illegal organizations. I study gangs for a living. I study this stuff. I devoted my life to this. This is what I love to do. So when I talk about gangs, I have every right, because I come from your same neighborhoods and your same sets and all that. And I was the one who was really the toughest dude and really, really the real thing and putting work in while everyone else was running their mouth. You understand? I came up in the original sets when I was little. I had a head full of blonde hair. I was probably like 3 feet tall. Are you serious, bro? That was crazy, son. Trying to talk to me like I'm someone I'm not. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't waste my time with anyone on the internet because the internet is fake. People on the internet, they want you to tell them that your information. I don't tell nobody my information. I protect myself online. I got a brain. I'm smart. I know how y'all move. I know how the game go. That's why people mad because I'm untouchable. Can't nobody touch me. I know what I'm doing, bro, and I do everything right too. I'll never have nothing to worry about. But you people are swimming in guilt, karma, you know what I mean? Guilt from what you did to me and said to me. All that stuff, y'all gotta live with that stuff. Y'all gotta deal with that every day. And it's breaking y'all down. I know. I know, bro. I know how the world really works, man. I have nothing on my heart or my conscience. Like I'm free, bro. I'm good. You know what I mean? No matter what happens to me, no matter what you wish on me, I'm gonna get blessed more. No matter what I go through, no matter what happens to me, I'm a good person. And God knows that. God sees that. At the end of the day, that's what life's about. That's what matters. So don't tell me about facts, and I don't ever, I always have my facts on point because these people have been telling me crazy, horrible things, vile things, and you know exactly their agenda, and they've told them themselves a million times what they tell people and what they tell people to do to themselves. And they've tried to do that to me for the past I don't know how many years. That's a federal lawsuit, brother. See what I'm saying? No, you're not playing, you're not joking. I mean, you really want these results for people. You really want bad things for me. You just upset at me, so you mad because I exist? Because I'm living and breathing? What? Because I'm me? That don't make no sense. So people hide behind computers nowadays and they all cowards and they say they type with intent of what they want to do to me. You understand? Of what they want for me. They don't want nothing good for me. Like, yeah, but unfortunately for you, what you want for me don't matter. Cause I don't know you and I don't care, and you for sure don't control me or my life. So sayonara, bye, move on. I don't care how you feel. I didn't ask you. And if you feel some way, anyone, whoever, why not say it to my face? Cause you're cowards and you're terrified of me. See my point? So, finishing my notes here, the gangs all originated by Satan. I went over that to create separation and division. All these fools are getting no views. They're in desperation. That's about it. Crip Mac was talking about how he got put on by the set. You should know what that means, right? Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff was whack. The real gangs didn't put anybody on like that. Another thing, they're not going to do that to their own because it doesn't make any sense. That's not discipline. That's just silly. You understand? You want to talk about real discipline, right? You don't discipline people like that. See, that's the thing. I could never be a part of what y'all do. Even if I was in prison or jail, I've never been I always am solo. I roll dolo. I'm by myself. I'm just me. I would never put up with that because that's the thing. See, a normal, a real gangster, let me tell you how a real gangster operate. A real gangster, you put your hands, right? Common sense. You do that. What y'all talking about putting on to a set and all that and to a gang like initiations, you do that with a real gangster, a dude like me, you think he gonna put up with that? See what I'm saying? There ain't no fake stuff. There ain't we're playing. Oh, there ain't none of that, bro. You want to act and pretend. You got to understand, right? The environment you in and who you dealing with, and that's the thing people don't get. Now, a dude like me, if I was ever in that environments, I would either change the entire environment or whatever would happen to me. Cause I ain't going. You ain't gonna tell me what to do. You ain't gonna tell me nothing. I'll stand on everything with every fiber of my being. I'm gonna protect my life and myself, and I'm gonna tell you what to do. I don't care who you are. I don't care what gang you are part. I don't care what set you claim, little homie. Feel that? That's the difference. You get some dudes that really crazy and really built like that. You understand? And it's very rare, but I'm one of them. Like I said, it's just like some people you can disrespect, some people you run around and slander their name and lie and talk smack about and whatever. I'm not one of them. Ain't nobody talking about me. I done addressed everybody, bro. Like I said, what? We've been pulling up, G checking everybody, bro. That's the thing. Everyone else is just running and hiding. I got all my enemies where I want them, running and hiding. Stay running. Yeah, ain't nothing sweet over here. See, y'all be taking this internet stuff literally, man. They want to act like we ain't do all this stuff that we did. Boy, y'all silly. We run the streets. All right. I'm gonna talk to y'all later, man. That's all I got for you today. I appreciate it. And like I said, we'll continue to do these shows. I enjoy it with y'all. I enjoy the time I get to spend on here. And that's all, man. All right. Keep it real. Much love. And that's it. I hope you learned something from my program and what I'm doing. And if y'all really want to help me, like I said, Cash App. You need the Cash App right there. That's what I need. I need money, man. That's all I need right now is the money, man. I get the money. I got all the other tools because God got me. God gave me the gifts. You understand? I just love my life, man, and I love God. You know what I mean? And I love you, Christina, more than anything, and you're everything to me. All right? And that's who I'm doing all this for. I'm doing all this for Christina. You understand? All right? I'll talk to you in a minute.